Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Color Me Badland, back with an amazing share of a fragrance that was created. There's two fragrances I want to share with you. One of them I'm actually physically going to show you that have the exact same notes and the exact same creator and an extreme difference in pricing. But before we get into that, I want to again welcome you back to my channel. Just to give you a brief synopsis of who I am again Color Me Badland. I am a beauty professional, and on my channel, if you've never seen any of my videos, we mainly focus on fragrances. The fragrances and perfumes that are in my collection, those that are on my wish list, and we also talk about fragrances that have been sent to me and gifted to me. We also talk about natural skincare, a little bit about hair. We'll get into some fashion this year. And we will also talk about love, relationships, romance, dating, and faith. And whatever else you want to talk about. So make sure you leave comments below or send me an email. And I'll be more than happy to come on and answer any and all of your questions. You want to send those questions to Dear Color Me. So let's get into it. The fragrance that I want to come on and share with you guys is a celebrity fragrance that is the exact same fragrance of an old school fragrance and cosmetic company's Dead Ringer. It is absolutely gorgeous. And when I sprayed the fragrance, I was like, this smells exactly like something else. And the fragrance that I'm going to share with you guys smells exactly like a fragrance of a company that I used to work for. So, you know, when you work somewhere, especially if it's in cosmetics and fragrances, you sell them, you get familiar with them, you take classes on them, and you know those particular scents. And so the fragrance I want to share with you first is the one that I actually pulled from my collection today. And it is Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor. And here's the box. It's still intact a little bit. It's a little beat up. I want to take it out of the box and share you guys the bottle. It is exactly like the original white diamonds. You'll even find, if you've never smelled this fragrance before, if you decide to add it to your collection, that when you first spray this out, it has the exact DNA of the original white diamonds, but it turns into something totally different. Again, this is Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor. I'm going to spray a little bit on me, and I'm going to show you guys the sprayer on this fragrance, and I am going to, it's not that bad, and I'm going to share with you guys the notes of this fragrance, when it was created, and then I'm going to share with you and reveal to you the fragrance that it is exactly like it's a total duplicate of this fragrance. And we'll also share which fragrance came first. All right, so again, this is Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor for women. Of course, anyone who wants to wear this fragrance absolutely can. Your main, of course, of this fragrance, it is powdery. So if you don't like a powdery fragrance, this wouldn't be the fragrance for you. It is floral. It is warm, spicy. It has vanilla. It has rose, which is my thing right now. I'm on a rose kick. It is sweet. It is fruity. It's woody. It's amber, and it has almond in it, which I'm loving my fragrances with a little bit of almond note in them. Okay. Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor is an amber floral fragrance. Of course, it is for women, but it is not gender specific. You can wear whatever you want. Diamonds and Rubies was launched in 1993. The nose behind this fragrance is Sophia Grossman. Thank you, Sophia. Your top notes of this fragrance is red rose. You've got a little bit of peach in here. You've got almond wood, lilac, and lily. Okay. Your middle notes are going to be rose. So you're going to get a lot of rose in this fragrance, which I absolutely adore. You got spices, heliotrope, ylang ylang, orchid, jasmine. Remember I told you about that jasmine. Anything that has any fragrance that has jasmine in it, it has an addicting factor to it. It makes you want more and more of it. It also has Lily of the Valley in it, which is another one of my favorite white note fragrance notes. Your base notes, and this is typically what you get in your dry down of any of your fragrances. Depending on your body chemistry and your pheromones, you may smell these notes and you may not. It depends on your skin and how it receives the fragrance. You get in your base notes vanilla, sandalwood, amber, benzoin, musk, and cedar. Okay. Now I want you to remember and take a mental note of the creator of this fragrance, because you're going to hear this again. I'm going to go over the notes of the fragrance that this is exactly alike. And when I say exactly alike, they have the exact same notes and the exact creator. Okay. And so let me pull up the notes on that, and then I'm going to share with you the fragrance that is exactly like this one. And this blew me away because I wasn't expecting this, but this happens a lot in the fragrance world. As I've been doing my research and learning how to find fragrances with notes that I like, also doing research on the fragrances that are in my collection, figuring out, what's the smartest thing to buy? What's the best price, longevity wise? Because I love fragrances so much and they are expensive. And so I have learned that you don't always have to spend a whole lot of money to smell good and have quality fragrances. The fragrance that Rubies and Diamonds is an exact duplicate for is Tresor Lancome for women. When I tell you it is the exact same fragrance, there are a couple of things that are different, but this fragrance is exactly the same. There are only a couple of notes that are different. Tresor Lancome for women's man, of course, it is fruity, it is powdery, it is floral, it's sweet, it has rose in it, of course, it is vanilla, it's woody, it's amber. The two components that they added in were lactonic and fresh. Okay. So we're going to go into a little bit of history behind the fragrance. Remember, I stated that Rubies and Diamonds was created in 1993. Tresor by Lancome is an amber floral, the same as Rubies and Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor. This is a fragrance for women, but of course, anyone who wants to wear this fragrance absolutely can. Tresor was launched in 1990. Okay, so Tresor was launched before Rubies and Diamonds. Okay, the nose behind this fragrance is Sophia Grossman. So the exact same creator for Rubies and Diamonds for Elizabeth Taylor also created Tresor by Lancome. Your top notes of this fragrance are peach, rose, apricot blossom, lilac, pineapple, lily of the valley, and bergamot. Now, if you notice and do research on your fragrances, you notice that there are some notes that they list in this particular fragrance that are slightly different from Rubies and Diamonds from Elizabeth Taylor. Now, that doesn't mean that those same notes are not in Rubies and Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor. It's just the notes that they listed for us as consumers for public knowledge, right? All right, so you've got your apricot blossom, you got your lilac, you got your lily of the valley, and you got your bergamot. Okay, your middle notes are rose. So both of these fragrances are heavily rose notated fragrances, which I absolutely love, right? You've also got iris. Iris is normally what gives you your powdery note. Now, they didn't mention iris in Rubies and Diamonds, but Rubies and Diamonds is also a powdery noted fragrance. And so that lets you know that it's probably got iris in it. They just didn't share that information with us. Heliotrope, which is also in Rubies and Diamonds. You got your jasmine, you got your peach, you got apricot, vanilla, sandalwood, amber, and musk. Now in Tresor by Lancome, they didn't mention the note of benzoin, which is in Rubies and Diamonds. But in this particular fragrance, they notated apricot blossom and peach. So this is more of a peachy and more of a apricot noted fragrance. But when I tell you that these two fragrances are absolutely identical, if you love the fragrance of Tresor, not only will this fragrance remind you of Rubies and Diamonds, it can take the place of that fragrance in your collection. If you wanted to replace Tresor, or if you're wanting to have a fragrance in your collection that is exactly alike, like that particular fragrance, I highly recommend that you add Rubies and Diamonds to your collection by Elizabeth Taylor. And the reason why I recommend that is if it's one of your favorite fragrances, you do know that fragrances, again, are extremely expensive. And unless you don't mind spending the scratch on duplicate bottles of your favorite fragrances, it's always good to have backup bottles that are less expensive. Okay, so again, Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor is an exact duplicate of Tresor Lancome for women. This one was created in 1993 or launched in 1993, and then your Tresor by Lancome was launched in 1990. All right, so I wanted to come on and share that with you because Tresor was one of my favorite fragrances back in the day. Like I said, I worked for the company, and that was one of the fragrances that they gifted to us when we went to training when it was first launched. And I wanted to come on and share that because I've had this Rubies and Diamonds sitting in my collection forever. And like I said, sometimes you knock the dust off your fragrances and you spray them out and make sure there's still some good. And I kept saying, this smells exactly like something, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I started doing the research on it. Come to find out, it is an exact dead ringer for Tresor by Lancome. So if you love Tresor by Lancome, which is your amber floral fragrance for women, go ahead. I highly recommend adding Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor to your collection. You know what I always say when I have a fragrance in my collection that I absolutely love and adore. I'm not a huge fan of duplicates, but this is excellent fragrance. It will last you anywhere between 6 to 8+ hours. After your maybe about your 5th or 6th hour, this will turn into a skin scent. At least that's what it did to me. But that's more than enough time to handle business and smell absolutely gorgeous, darling, for a minimum price. Get you some. This is Color Me Bad Lynn saying thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate all of your love and support. Shout out to all of my new subscribers. I thank you for your love and your support. Make sure if you like this video, you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that notification bell so each and every time we upload a video onto YouTube, you will be notified. And if you can't watch the video right away, you can save it for later. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is Color Me Bad Lynn saying bye for now. Peace.